Welcome to my live stream. I'm talking about first times tonight. It's 2 minutes more, so I'm gonna wait for a while. Oh my gosh, did you hear that? I just pray this doesn't disrupt our internet in any way, because whenever there is thunderstorm like this, it becomes really hard to get stable internet seamlessly working. But let's hope that we'll go ahead and hear this whole story, guys. Are people that are fans of my hair still here? My hair is still fanzing. Anyone still fanzing my hair? All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's 2 minutes to call time. Two minutes to call time. Tonight, I'm going to tell a very interesting story. It's the first ever time is that the correct expression? It's the first ever time. It's the first time ever, right? It's the first time ever. It's my first time ever telling the story. And telling it fully the way I want to tell it tonight. And that's because I drew a lot of lessons that I thought I can share with all of you. Also hear from you as well. I don't know what your own money story is like. Like, how old were you when you first made your first money? Is actually raining, guys. If you hear, if the noise is something disturbing, let me know. Rain, 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 rain. So it's 1 minute on. So I was saying that if the first time you ever made money, maybe you were a teenager or early 20s, let me know. I also want to hear your own first time ever making money. I'm going to share my two first times. I'm going to share my original first time making money. And then I'm going to share my very first time making money as a freelancer, as someone working for herself, right? So those two stories I think I want to tell. So welcome officially to the live stream. It's 9 p.m. right now, Lagos time. Please, if you're hearing so much noise, it's because there is rain. But if the noise is disturbing you, please also let me know if you can't really hear me properly. If you can manage it, then we can go ahead. Tonight is story time. Hi, thought this XDS. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. So do subscribe and like this video. I'm fine. My name is chisomutibeakah, which is the name of this channel. And right here I share about money, opportunities, and business. And this is the 23rd episode of a 30-day show we have been doing. And I welcome you to the live show. I am Growth. I can see you. So how old were you when you made your first money? Tell me in the comment section. How old were you when you made your first money? Okay, Growth. I am from Nigeria, Uyo in Nigeria, yes. I live in the tourist city of Uyo in Nigeria, West Africa. All right. So how old were you when you make it? Oh, 10. Oh my gosh, you're better than me. 10? Okay, great. Amazing. I made my first money, you won't believe it, when I was 24. I was 24 up to when I was 25. That was the season when I made my first money. So I kind of see myself as a late bloomer. Yeah. And that's why I thought I want to share the story tonight, because right here we all inspire ourselves with money stories and everything we need. Yes, you can imagine. 24. Crazy, right? Oh my gosh. So welcome to the live stream. If you're here, probably you remember the first time, of course, like Growth had said. I am Growth said he made his first money at 10 and I made my first money at 24. Crazy. So I'm sure you remember your very first time ever making money. Please subscribe to my channel. Also share. I want to hear more people's first time making money ever. That's what we're talking about tonight. Okay? All right. So maybe your first money was from like a small job or a side hustle. However, let me know, what was your first time making money? But I remember mine like yesterday, because like I said, I was 24. I was already at the point where I should have been making money sooner, right? Extreme Kids Math, I see you. Welcome to the live stream. So what was your first source of income? Drop it in the comments. Let me start my story, okay? Let's see who has the most interesting first time hustle. Drop your how you made your first money in the comment section. Let's see who had the most interesting first time ever in the money making adventure. Okay, now my first time making money, let me talk about it. So let's go. The first time I made money, I was just fresh out of university. Yes, I was already out of university and I was home. My dad went out and came back one day and said, oh, there was this new store, a new tech store that was opening, and he had to walk in to make inquiries. They are starting off and they will need first time staff. Please guys, can you hear me properly? Because the rains are really, really high right now. The sound is really amazing. I mean, strong and noisy. Can you hear me? Thank you, Autumn Fields. Welcome to the live stream. Please, can you hear me properly in spite of the sound of the rain? Let me know, please. Let me know if you can hear me properly in spite of the rain. Anyone? And we're talking about first time ever making money, right? What was the first thing that gave you money? Now, I don't mean money that somebody gifted you. Of course, before 24, all I lived on was parents, pocket money, gifts from uncles, aunties, and stuff. That's not the kind of money we're talking about. We're talking about you actually doing selling something, whether it's your skill or your presence or whatever, to make money, right? Mine was 24, and yes, with such a late bloomer I am, I'm trying to tell you how it even happened. I'm fine, Pro King, I see you. How old were you when you made your first money, and what did you sell? What was it that gave you the money? Let's know who has the most interesting first time money ever. Okay, so my dad came back and said this shop was starting out. They're a tech shop. They're actually a telecom company, and he made inquiries, and one of the aspects of the company where they needed staff was the security. Yes, people who open and close the doors. You sold the bag for $50 when you were 8. Pro King, you're a real king, like seriously. 8, oh my gosh, I'm clapping for you. Because I wish I understood how to make money at that age. I wasn't, which is why I'm telling my story. You see, and this your story, do you know, can inspire a lot of people, a lot of 8-year-olds, a lot of teenagers as well. Really, I'm serious, Pro King, I'm serious. Anyway, so you can imagine me 24. That's when I made my first money. Well, so they said they needed security guards there, and okay, well, I didn't know the details at that time, so my father told me and all that, said I should go for the interview. And at that time I had finished university, but we were still awaiting our results and our convocation. Is that what they call it, convocation? Yeah, convocation and all that. How old am I now? I'm 44, you can imagine. So I've been making money just like in the last 20 years. Oh my gosh, I'm 44. Oh my gosh, you can imagine. All right, African Tales and Beats says enterprise at 7 years selling fried scumbia fish in front of my father's compound. Oh my gosh, 7 years. Oh my gosh, I feel like a failure tonight. Oh my gosh. You guys, are you serious? That's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, I didn't have the opportunity. My parents didn't give me the heads up, or how to even go about it. So anyway, so I went for the interview for the job on a particular day. I know that was I think it was February of 2005. Yes. I finished school December of 2004. Hey, Naija. How old were you when you made your first money? We want to see who has the most interesting first time ever. Well, I'm telling my story. How old were you when you made your first money? And what was it that you sold or did that gave you the money? Okay? All right, so I went for the interview. and of course they took me, right? And I was thinking it was, those kind of security guards where I will have to wear the uniform, looking like a paramilitary person. And I was excited. You know why? Because for me it was a new adventure. It was something. Oh, Pro King is your friend. Nice. For me it was a new adventure. Also, it was something that a lot of people don't really do, especially people who went to university. They take those kind of jobs like, jobs for people who didn't really get a lot of education and all that. He has to go to a party. Okay, great. Enjoy yourself at the party. All right. So I went there, and all the people there, true to type, were not, none of them had like a university education, but they were still my peers and all that. And I was so excited, right? They took me, and I was thinking they would give us the uniform and all that, and I was excited, but they told us to resume. Meanwhile, this was a telecom company, so the main staff of the company were corporate people, have been in corporate for years, right? They were doing customer service operations. We had an accountant, they had compliance, all of that, but mostly customer service, because it's a place where people could come to fix their SIM card problems, or buy a new SIM, or if they have any issue why their phone isn't calling out or something, all of those kind of issues, because those were the early years of telecom in Nigeria, in my country, right? These are 2005, and internet just came into our country about 2001, but 2004 was like the major year when it became like mainstream. So this was 2004 and 5. Everybody was trooping in, and those were the years where there were a lot of phone booths. A lot of people were doing business with helping you make a call, so you could pay for a minute to make a call. So there were public phones everywhere, mobile phones everywhere. A lot of people still didn't have their own smartphones at that time. So that was the market, you get. So our Connect shop or Connect store was always busy when it comes to foot traffic. So our job was to open the door and close. We were also to man the back of the company where staff entrance were. We were also to make sure that every car that comes to park in front of our building, we would take down the plate number, watch movements, entirely, just to prevent theft, of course, and prevent any kind of chaos around the environment. And also, we also had, what they call that, CSO, Chief Security Officer, who can escalate cases to the place when there are cases and all that. So I just joined it, and yes, we were about 7 of us, I think, and the other lady who was there, so we had 5 guys and 2 ladies. No, were there 5 guys? Yes, 5 guys and 2 ladies. And the second lady happened to be my namesake as well. So we were both like, they had to differentiate us by putting our other names as initials. So it was really fun. And so I resumed. They asked us to come dressed in corporate, in suits and all that. So we didn't get our uniform till I left there. So it became like we were like corporate security people. So it even made it so much fun. And because I was the only one who had like an education, a university education, I could understand the main staff of the company. Now, the security job was a contract, a company that was contracted to handle the security aspect of the company. You know how it is. So we were not like staff of the tech, what they call that now, telco company, right? We were, just the same way people hire like cleaners, hire like security in addition, right? So we were like contract staff for them. And I did that job for 10 months. It was fun. Trust me, I really had fun. I made very good friends who are still my friends today, who were like main staff of the company. And I learned so much, which is what I wanted to share with you guys, right? So the first time I was paid, of course, the next month after I started, I was paid 8,500. In fact, that was what I was paid throughout the 10 months. I mean, the salary was 8,500. I'm trying to divide it by what the value of dollar is right now for you guys to understand how much that was. So that was about $5. Yeah, about $5.06. About $5.06 was my salary. Yes. And of course, even though I went to a university and I was done with my exams, our results weren't out again. So I didn't have like a result to show that I had gone to university. So I didn't have a result to show that I was out of the university. Even if I had the result to show I was out of university, that sort of job, nobody was expecting like a university graduate to come take that kind of job. You know? So I didn't need my result at all. And I bullshitted it in that sense, because who wants a job? Who wants a certificate to be a stumbling block to an exciting, job adventure, right? And remember, my dad was the one that got the job for me, or rather put in word for me before I came to get it. So that shows you the kind of environment I grew up in. Like, I was always just shielded from the world, which I think has its advantages and disadvantages. That's why I hadn't made money from 7, 8, like all of you guys. So the first time I was paid that $5.06, I was over the moon, because I'm like, geez, after the first time ever. And let me tell you something that happened. The first time I was paid that salary, I took the whole money to my dad. My dad is a pastor, a Deeper Life pastor. So I took the money to my pastor, of course, who is my dad, my very first pastor. And I told him I wanted to give him all the money, because first of all, he's the one that helped me get the job. 2, he's like my first pastor ever, right? And we are supposed to give our tithe or our first income to our pastors or to our churches. So I told my dad I brought it for him to take. My father refused. Oh my God. My father said, no problem, no. You can take it to church and all that. Don't mind him. He didn't see the way I was seeing it, right? Like, why will I go to take my tithe or my first fruit in that sense to a pastor, a conventional pastor, or to my church, when my father is a pastor too, right? So my father is like my first pastor ever. So why? That was how I saw it. But well, he didn't think that way. So I kept my money to myself. I can't remember whether I went to church to give you those, but I can't remember though. And yes, let me also tell you about the first, okay, before I get into the lessons I've learned, let me also tell you the first time I made money selling something. So this one was me making money from working a 9 to 5. Our job was 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Yes. So this was my first time ever making money. That was my very first time ever being given money for something I had done or work I have done. So, like I said, one of my duties was to open the doors for people who were coming in and out. Sometimes they can post you to the traffic department, where you will take note of all the cars coming in and going, taking note of their numbers. They could post you to the back office as well, where you're monitoring the foot traffic in and out of the office from the back. That is staff entrance. They also can post you to where you're just taking record of every individual who is coming in, because when you're coming in at the gate, okay, there are usually 2 people. One person opens the door, the other person hands over a tally, a number tally. So we also take note of how many tallies we give out every day, and we'll drop a report, because the number of tallies we give and receive, or we give, tells you the number of people who actually walked into the company that day. So at the end of the day, we will write our report about how many tallies we had given, and we have to create those tallies every day when we come as well. When it's about to finish, we'll create more, according to the number, so that the number helps us know how many people actually came into the company and left. And you have to submit your report before you close, and that's what we did every day for those 10 months I was there. And why I left after 10 months was because I was finally called to do my compulsory graduate program, which we do in Nigeria. It's compulsory. You have to do a 1-year graduate program where you'll be posted to another state far away from where you studied, to go and integrate and work and serve your nation, right? It's called the National Youth Service Corps. So I had to go for mine. And mine was in far away, like a city that was over 22 hours away, by transport. Like, it was in the far north, in the far northwest. The farthest place I have been in my country, the farthest the farthest city I have ever been in my country, in Sokoto State. But it was an amazing experience for 1 whole year, right? So that was my first time making money. Now, my first time making money from what I was selling as a freelancer was now years later in 2009, when I was paid 9 or 10, yeah, where I was paid to edit a book, and I couldn't even tell the person. I was too afraid. That's what you get when you don't have a lot of educational knowledge, you don't have a social money life. I was too afraid to mention how much I was to charge, and the lady paid me 21,000 naira for editing her 60,000 word manuscript. That felt like a lot of money. Again, 21,000 naira is, let me give you what it is in naira, in dollars, so you can understand. That was about $14 to edit a 60,000 word book. Those are my 2 first times ever making money in my life, guys. And because of the fact that I didn't have a lot of financial education, these are things I learned on the way, right? I'm happy that I Am Growth said he made his first money at 8. African Tales and B said he made his first money at 7. Who else mentioned? Yeah. Okay, Am Growth said he made at 10. Yes. Pro King said he made $50 first when he was 8. And then African Tales said he made the first one after 9. And oh my gosh, I learned a couple of things from my own experience. I know several friends who made a lot of money. I know a guy called Chuka in Lagos. He started selling pure water. What we call pure water here is just water in a sachet. He will go to football fields where players are playing football and sell his pure water, you know, at the age of 12. And there are lots of those kind of children now as well who are making money for their families, because he noticed that after they played those matches, they were always thirsty and looking for water, and they needed cold water, so he used that as an opportunity. And that was his very first money experience. I also know a lot of, I know Aisha in Abuja, who started doing makeup. She learned from YouTube and started making makeup. I mean, I know so many people like this. I know Uju as well. I know Alma. Alma is also a YouTuber. I mean, I know several people who learned how to do makeup from YouTube. But Aisha started making money from YouTube and from makeup, and started charging 5,000 naira. And she was feeling like a millionaire, the way I was feeling when they paid me as well. Today, she owns the whole beauty studio. I mean, doing amazing, training other people in the trade and all that. Yeah, so first times can really be surreal. It can really be a lot. Like for me, what I learned the first time I started working in that telco as a security person is that no job is less value. No job is less. You know how so many people, you know how sometimes we think about jobs, especially in my part of the world, because people are so poor here, you know, so they always look down on certain jobs. They will look at some jobs like, hey, how can I do a security job? How can I be an auto mechanic? Meanwhile, those are the jobs that give people a lot more money than sitting down in an office and answering a government worker. In fact, government workers right now are the least paid, are the least earners, you know. But back in the days, people used to, you know, rate it very highly, like, oh my gosh, I'm working in the ministry of this. It's not like that anymore, you know. My first time getting paid that salary made me know that there's no job that is little, you know. Again, I learned that the excitement you bring to your job leads to your, you know, to your success at it, right? I learned that there's nothing, see, dignity of labor is a thing, and you have to be happy with the job that you're doing to be able to make real impact. I made real impact working there beyond even my job, and I mean, I still look back on that experience today with smiles on my face. Also, I understand the value, it made me understand the value of hard work. So I was putting in hours now, and I can see how the hours I'm putting in a month, because we get paid in a month here in my country, not daily or weekly. I see how the value of hard work, you know, can be, right? So I was putting all those hours, and every month I get paid at a particular day of the month. It made me value hard work, right? Also, I was able to see opportunities working there. Even though I was in security, I was able to see other money opportunities that, you know, working in a telco could give. You know, it made me aspire for bigger things. It made me, you know, understand how the corporate world ever works as well. That was also my very first time in a corporate environment that had those, you know, beautiful ambience, fine aesthetics, you know, 247 security, AC, you know. So that was also my first time at 24 to experience that. So yeah, I was able to spot opportunity. I saw how you could make money off the other collaterals that the company provided and all that. And also, I think that was also how I learned how that is different when you making money and managing money are two different things. Anybody can make money, but being able to be wealthy, like I talk about on this channel, has to come from being able to manage money and know where to put it to actually grow it, right? Yeah, that's another thing I learned, that managing money, because that was also my first time making huge amount of money, huge in that sense, because I mean I have never been paid salary before that time. I learned to save my money, and that saving of money was what helped me even when I went to my youth service. And afterwards, when I had to leave home at 27, I told the story in this channel as well. You should go binge watch my videos on my live stream playlist. You're going to see all of the stories there. The money from that job actually helped me a lot within all those years. Yeah. Another thing I learned was that when you are a child, or when you're still living with your parents, take all the opportunities you can get. Because I tell my children now about this, the fact that you can start your business because you have an idea, and your parents can bankroll it, help you set it up, help you market it, you should take the advantage, right? My dad did that for me, put in word for me and helped me get the appointment to go for an interview and get a job. I did the rest, but he put in the word for me first. For him to have seen the organization and felt, oh, my daughter can work here, was a thing. Yeah, another thing I learned was that whatever anywhere you show up, whatever you want to do, it takes you to on an adventure of self. You learn more about yourself when you take opportunities, right? I discovered that I was excited to contribute. I was someone who was passionate about helping people, about adding value. I discovered that for myself, I was somebody that was very ethical, and I was very conscious of doing things right. That was the job that made me realize that I could never have come late even one day. I would not do anything that the organization say don't do. I was not like that. And it was also my first time outside school environment to actually meet people who I could learn from. Some of the people who I was working directly with as a security department had worked in other security outfits, even though I haven't worked. So I learned a lot from their own experiences, coming from where they were coming from. And it was really fun. Trust me, it was really, really, really fun. I look back and I think, well, did you sell something? Tell me about it. What did you sell? What service did you offer that gave you your first money? Or did you do a digital business like drop shipping? Who else wants to share? You remember that your first money is never about the amount you were paid. Yes, it's never about the money. It's about the lessons you learned and how that has shaped who you are becoming right now. So what was your first income source? Anyone willing to share again? And share your experience in the chat. I'll be replying. If you're watching the replay, please go ahead and respond as well. I'll be responding all the way. Don't forget to subscribe and make sure that you're staying. That somebody do a pedicure for me here while I'm doing videos. Subscribe. Make sure that you're liking and make sure you're dropping your comment. Let's learn about first times. Thank you to I Am Growth, to Pro King, to African Tales and B, to Niger, to 30XD, and all the amazing people, and Extreme Kiss Math, Autumn Fields, everyone who jumped in here. And yes, any questions so far? I will take them before we wrap up. Remember, you can gift this channel money by tapping the currency icon in the comment section and gift and buying a super. You can also be a member and join my membership by clicking the link in the description box. Yeah, I need to hear your money story. Please drop them in the comment section. Share this to someone else who will find it really fun to share, whose first time stories making money will make such interesting listening also. Okay, and I'm always here live 9 p.m. Lagos time every day. I hope to see you again tomorrow in episode 24 of Harmony series with Chisom. I'll see you then.